Now we go over 3 internal and 1 external governance mechanisms and their roles in more detail. Ownership concentration is determined by the number of large block shareholders and their percentages of owning of the share. Large block shareholders typically own at least 5% of the company's issued share, so thus they generally have a strong incentive to monitor management closely. What are the possible benefits and incentives by that? Think about it for a while. One of the incentives is that their active participation of monitoring managers and management as a board member could encourage managers to avoid their strategic decisions that harm to shareholders. Although financial institutions are legally forbidden to be a member of board of directors, their mutual funds and pension funds influence on large block shareholders that control the board of directors as well as top-level managers' strategic decisions. For example, since financial institutions with its size and incentives have proxy voting power that affect board seats and demand for returns to funds, their institutional power influence on disciplining ineffective top managers or managers' strategic decisions as well. Secondly, board of directors is a group that represent the owners for monitoring and controlling top managers. Their primary roles are to direct the company's wide affairs of the organization, punish or reward managers, and protect owners from managerial opportunism. A board of directors is composed of 3 groups such as insiders, including active CEO or other top managers, because they are a source of information about the firm's day-to-day operations. And related outsiders, who are individuals uninvolved with day-to-day operations, but who have a relationship with a firm, such as former top managers and scholars from related fields, and so on. And outsiders who are independent from the company, such as top managers in other company, for instance, However, there are also criticism of board of directors. If the members are biased, including more insiders than outsiders, monitoring and controlling management becomes weak, and so thus most decision-making process is also biased to top management choices. So suggestions for effectiveness of board of directors can be forming more diversified board members from across expertise, sex and age groups, etc. And stronger internal management and accounting control systems, and establishing and consistent, more formal process to evaluate the board's performance and changing in their compensation more effectively. Before we talk about external corporate governance mechanism, we discuss what types of compensations top managers receive. Basically, the executive compensation is composed of salaries, bonuses, incentives, and stock options. But normally, it is unclear and complicated because the compensation depends on mostly their strategic decisions. And the decisions are complex, non-routine, and affect the firm over an extended period which is hard to measure. In addition, because of the complexity of measurement and unintended consequences of stock options and its ambiguity, there is a limit on the effectiveness of executive compensation. In this last section, we talk about the external corporate governance mechanism, that is the market for corporate control. The market for corporate control is activated when the three internal governance mechanisms fail. The external mechanism is composed of individuals and firms that buy or take over undervalued firms. Because of the nature of threatening by other firms, top managers try to defend the hostile takeover by changing something that are related to the firm's regulations or ineffective and inefficient activities in order to avoid such takeovers. This is called defense tactics, which require asset restructuring, financial structure, and shareholder approval. There are hostile takeover defense strategies. I want you to read the strategies and understand the strategies. After that, please choose one of the strategies and explain it in more detail with a real-life example as business strategy exercise activity. Thank you and see you next chapter.